I've been living here. I'm Tunisian, obviously, and I've been living here for 10 years. I was not following Tunisian politics for a long time because nothing was happening. The president looked as if he had a very strong grip on the country, and his grip kept tightening on all aspects of life in Tunisia. However, I had the chance to go there for 3 days during the most important events of the revolution. I arrived on Friday, 14th of January, to go directly to the demo. And 6 hours later, President Ben Ali, can you hear me? Left the country.
Well done.
This is the biggest demo that ever happened in Tunisia. Around 100,000 people in Tunis, Avenue Bourguiba, which is obviously dwarfed now by what the Egyptians are doing, but that was quite big and quite important. And then I was part of the committee of defense of our neighborhood, just to defend the family and the neighbors. And I've seen how people organize themselves to defend themselves against the thugs and against the secret police who was trying to terrorize the country and push into chaos. So what I would like here is to talk very briefly about the events, some of the events that happened afterwards, or as far as I know, and my personal view on what can happen later and what happened so far. So what is clear here is that on the 14th of January, this revolution managed to cut off the head quite swiftly. However, the roots of the dictatorship were still there, and the ruling class tried very quickly to stop the momentum of the revolution. They recognized that there was a revolution, but they wanted the revolution to be just one event happening on the 14th of January with the flight of the president. They didn't want to recognize that it is a whole process and that the process is likely to continue. So their first attempt was to form very quickly a government where most of the ministers were of the old regime, and they only allowed 3 opposition leaders to be part of it with, frankly, non-important portfolios. And they had brought in as well 5 leaders from the unions, from the General Federation of Union of Tunisian Workers. This government fell apart very quickly due to the pressure from first of all, from the grassroots of the unions who pushed their leaders to withdraw from the government, from the demonstrators, mainly, most notoriously, the Liberation Caravan, who came from the most deprived regions of Tunisia and staged a sit-in in front of the office of the Prime Minister for weeks, and by the way, was brutally repressed by the police, by thugs, the same techniques of the Baltaghiyas in Egypt, throwing stones, even bringing drugs and alcohol and prostitutes into the area to say these guys are actually there for a bit of fun and nothing really serious, and try to damage their reputation. Then the police and the army started preventing the sympathizers from going there with food, water, and medical aid, and eventually they had to riot police broke the demo, but only at the expense of this government that was brought down, and Prime Minister Hanouchi had to shuffle his government completely. So he did 2 things. One, he changed all the governance in all the regions of Tunisia, and changed the government, keeping only 3 people from the old party, the RCD. First of all, this attempt, at least half of it, has failed completely. Most of the governors who have any link with the ruling party have already been kicked out of their office. in a quite humiliating way, actually under protection of the army. They were kicked out by demonstrators in different regions of Tunisia. And then yesterday, the UGTT, the General Union, has announced that they have agreed with the government to change all the governors with new governors who have absolutely no link with the old party. Second, the government itself is quite interesting to see that although only 3 people are from the old party, many new faces are actually people who have never done politics in their life. They were virtually headhunted by a headhunter, an advisor that was used by the Prime Minister, as if, like investment bankers, they do, and hire teams with using headhunters. This advisor, who is a French-Tunisian guy, Hakim Karoui, used to write speeches for the right-wing Prime Minister, Mr. Rafara, under Jacques Chirac. And it appeared recently, about 2 days ago, it was revealed that he advised Ben Ali himself in the last days before his fall. Most notoriously, he advised him to speak in dialectal Arabic in his last speech to be a bit closer to the people. He advised him to scapegoat all his advisors and the most hated figures of his wife's family, just to try to divert people's anger and hold them to power. The same guy, the same advisor, 2 weeks later started advising Mr. Ghannouchi, just to show the continuity in the dictatorship. These young people, so Ghannouchi tried to use, his strategy has 2 faults. One, okay, no people from the old RCD party. Second, young people, young faces, with impressive CV, just to try to sell the story that now we are allowing the young people who made this revolution, now we are allowing the young to get into the government, and it is a meritocracy, it's not nepotism as the old government used to do, so we are bringing people with very good CV. These people have never done done politics in their life. Most of them are investment bankers. They're ultra-liberal. They actually don't believe in politics because they think that there's only one rule, which is the free market. Most of them belong to quite a pompous organization called ATUG, Association des Tunisiens des Grandes Écoles, grouping people who graduated from prestigious European schools. And this organization did not take any position on the revolution before the fall of the president, and even refused to sign a petition against the use of live bullets few days before the fall of Ben Ali. Now these are the guys that are introduced as being the Democrats who will protect the revolution and will lead the country into democratization. So the second thing, all of these ministers will run into difficulties very slowly. We've seen already the foreign minister running into huge problems when he was in Luxembourg, and he refused to use the word revolution to describe what happened. And he said that Michel Alliot-Marie, who's the foreign minister of France, who suggested to give technical help to the Tunisian police 2 days before the fall of Ben Ali, he said that she's a visionary, and he said she's a friend of Tunisia. This guy, this minister, never managed to go back to his office because all of his employees in the foreign ministry staged a strike and a sitting in front of his office. And he as well, Mr. Rouneis, refused to say anything about the Egyptian revolution. His employees already published a communique in support of the Egyptian people. So we have here at many levels people taking matters in their hands. Although the revolution did not end up with a complete change of a government, it is still a process where the old ruling class is trying to hold on into power and trying to minimize losses, and people still asking for more and more. So right now, this strike or these sittings is not the only one that's happening. It is almost a daily event to have strikes in all administrations, in many industries, and I'm going to wrap up, and in many ministries. And there are people who are right now doing their own investigation into corruption and publishing it on the internet. And people are seeing that not only few families are involved in this corruption, almost the whole ruling class is involved somehow in corruption, and that people are seeing that the enemy is not only the RCD party, the old party, but even the new people that are brought in. They are brought in to try to stop their revolution. And this process, I think, will make sure that the demands will be more radical and can go to further than economical or democratic into social demands. And at that point, the most important thing will be what is the position of the General Union, who will have power there, and the success of the Egyptian revolution and its spread in the Arab world, and how the big powers will intervene to manipulate the event. Thank you.